So this is Cynthia Cooper. This is one of the greatest WNBA players of all time. Again, somebody that is an absolute legend in their own right. And we saw on a video the other day, we saw this WNBA legend Cheryl Cooper with fans. And this is what she said at the Dallas Wings game. She was it at the Wings game? Or it was either at the Wings game or the Sky game. I can't remember which. But this is what she said. And I will say this. This is very clearly not a knock on Cheryl Swoops. I'm pretty sure Cynthia Cooper has literally came out publicly talking about Cheryl Swoops. And unless something crazy happens in the story, I'm not really going to... Well, I probably will talk about it, to be honest. But Cheryl Swoops has now flat out publicly said that the call with her and Nancy Lieberman didn't happen. So if it turns out that that was just a complete lie and Cheryl Swoops telling the truth, then maybe she could win this whole thing. She could win this whole thing. If she wins this whole thing, I promise you guys, from my perspective, the apology is going to be about those specific things will be louder in the disrespect. But anyway, let's take a look.
Yeah, of course I came back to you. Well, I appreciate you for repping Caitlin Clark, who's the absolute truth. She out here balling.
They don't want to say that.
Yeah,
They don't want to give it to her.
I'm telling you, Caitlin Clark is the absolute truth.
From every time. From an all-around basketball.
Yeah. You can see her creating for others.
Yes.
You can see her shooting her shot. You can see her getting to the free throw
Yes.
like she a ball.
And make everybody else better.
It gets everybody. Wait, she making me better and I'm sitting on the sideline.
And that's the thing where it's like, and that's the funniest part about this is that it's very clear when, if you're just looking at it from a basketball standpoint and you're not taking into account everything, like, Caitlin Clark is just ridiculously good. And I think every single player, and it's like, for anyone being like, oh, Cynthia Cooper wasn't a legend. Like, Cynthia Cooper averaged 28 points per game while winning a championship. She averaged 25.8 points per game while winning a championship. And then averaged 22.8 points per game and 20 points per game while winning a championship. She only played 5 years in the WNBA because she was 30. Wow, she was 34. From 34 to 37. She won 4 championships, won 4 finals MVPs. So obviously, she is one of the greatest ever. That's crazy. That is crazy. And obviously was the Texas Southern coach until 2 years ago. But you can see, obviously, look, Cynthia Cooper is not out here badmouthing Cheryl Swoops. She's not done like a Nancy Lieberman and Stephen A. Smith, and supposedly, like, Cheryl Swoops is going in on them on Twitter Spaces. Like, it is. Like, the worst part is, like, the only person who can stop the Cheryl Swoops thing is Cheryl Swoops. But it does show, like, you can't be a basketball fan and not enjoy watching Caitlin Clark play. If you are every single basketball player, if you are a player, you're just watching this and you're like, man, imagine if you're watching, especially if you're like a scorer, you're watching Kelsey Mitchell and you're like, man, if I could shoot that many easy shots, I would have had 30. Like, and that's the thing, the pace of play doesn't reduce her shots. Kelsey Mitchell still shot 22 times the last game. So it's like, if you are one of these players, you're thinking to yourself, like, wow, like, imagine if I could have done this, if I could have played with a player like this back in my prime. And that realistically is the way people are looking at this whole situation. That's the way these players are looking at it. And that's when you're looking at something from a basketball standpoint. And that's being objective. And that is, like, she's obviously just there on talking about it. And that's where it becomes even, like, more of a big deal when, especially when you are in a position where your job is to, like, cover basketball. At the end of the day, that's what it is. So it is good to see, though. It's good to see the legends realizing that. And look, I don't understand why, like, a legend going out there and praising Angel Reese is seen as a big deal, because, like, Angel Reese is a really good player and I don't care what anyone says. Like, I know there are people in my comment section that just refuse to believe that. And it's like, you can be a good player without being a great offensive player. And when Angel Reese chooses to be, she's not even like a average defensive player. She's a fantastic defensive player. When, like, she is an absolutely fantastic defensive player when she wants to be. which is part of basketball. And it's a good part of basketball. It's just obviously we over glamorize the offense and sometimes under glamorize the dirty work, or like talk about how little importance it is. That doesn't mean Caitlin Clarkson's the better player, by the way. She is. And you can see Cynthia Cooper, she's hyped for the game. She's hyped for it. And it's great. It's great to see them see her embrace fans and embrace players. And that's the thing where it's like, if you saw after the game, straight away, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark straight away over to Cynthia Cooper to take a picture with her. Like, that is how the game is grown. And that's how the new fans, like Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark are going to be fans of Cynthia Cooper. They're people that obsessed over basketball and will know everything about this league. So, one, for the players in the league, it's great for them to get respect from these legends. And two, for the new fans, when you're seeing these young players as great as they are that you're fans of, going out of their way to take pictures with Cynthia Cooper and these legends being treated like the legends they are at games, then it's a great thing. And the reality is like, all that these legends have to do to earn themselves more money even is just be positive. It's just be positive. And that's where you see the problem with some of them. That's where you see the problem with some of the WNBA legends, is it's like, there is no real positivity there. And it is just unfortunate. It is unfortunate, everything that's kind of happened. And for a while, it seemed like it was just kind of Rebecca Lobo. But I never understood the hate against Dawn Staley. I don't actually think Dawn Staley's watching games in the WNBA. She just said Angel Reese. But Dawn Staley, coaching against Caitlin Clark, realized that how great she was and how good she was for the game. Same with Kim Mulkey. But the fact is that all these players are good for the game. But there's obviously going to be players that are salty that that maybe they paved the way for the future players to grow. And they're maybe their players are making more money now than they made. But Caitlin Clark's on a 70 and Angel Reese are on $75,000 a year rookie contracts. Do you really, if in 10 years time, rookies come into the league and this league continues to grow on $750,000 a year, obviously the two of them are making more in endorsements. But as far as salaries are concerned, players like them, not just them, but players like them are going to be the reasons why these players might become multi-millionaires in the WNBA and not have to be in a situation like Cheryl Swoops where they end up filing for bankruptcy. But that's just a good thing. The growth of the sport is a good thing. And being involved in the growth of the sport is a huge thing, whether you are involved in directly in it by being on the floor or on a coach or in a GM or in a backroom staff, whether you are involved in it indirectly involved in it, whether it's working for teams, whether you're a former player that's coming in doing the media, or whether you're involved in it even on the periphery, like the likes of myself, some channels talking about this sport. It's an objectively good thing that the sport is growing. And the fact is that all you have to be is just somewhat involved in the growth, and you are going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to improve. You're going to continue to see your situation get better. And yes, maybe there are situations for these players, even someone as great as Cynthia Cooper, as great as Cheryl Swoops maybe wasn't as great back in the day, but the last thing you do is almost be salty about that and continue to be. Because you can see right here, Cynthia Cooper, there will not be one bad word said about her. And even if she didn't go, Caitlin Clark is the absolute truth, all she would have had to do is say, I'm here to watch some great basketball. We got to see Caitlin Clark hooping, Kelsey Mitchell, Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston, Camila Cardoso. She could have just listed all these players. We got to see players hooping, because I think this was the Sky game. Or if it was the game 2 nights ago, then we got to see Caitlin Clark. She's the truth. Kelsey Mitchell's the truth. Arike breaking the 3-point record. And that's the thing where it's you don't just have to praise Caitlin Clark. You don't just have to criticize other players. And the fact is that you can actually just bring up everybody. But where the issue is with some of the, what people have believed in some legends is that there was an unfair targeting of certain players. And I think if it's on the opposite end, it doesn't even matter who that player is. It's always going to look bad. It's just obviously amplified when it's a Caitlin Clark. Either way, though, Cynthia Cooper, you are a legend. Congratulations for everything you've done in your career. And hopefully the growth of the WNBA will see a lot more opportunities. Well, I assume she's doing okay. She's Cynthia freaking Cooper. Either way, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.